Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I made a double batch of sourdough so I could bake 2 loaves instead of just one. While I show you how I put these together step by step, I also want to share a little bit about my dream of one day opening a small sourdough microbakery. So if you're here to learn the process and hear about what's next on my sourdough journey, stick around. So let's get started. To my bowl, I am adding 250 grams of sourdough starter. Then we are adding 650 grams of water. This is going to be a lower hydration loaf, which is easier to handle and my personal favorite. So we are going to mix these two together and we are going to make sure it is well combined. We're going to add 1,000 grams of flour and 20 grams of salt. You will mix everything together until there are no more pockets of flour left over in the bowl. I do like to use my hands. Eventually, when I do more than one loaf, I like to start mixing it with my spatula because my spatula cleans the bowl as I am mixing together. You'll see here in the video what I'm talking about. Towards the end, after I mix with my hands, you'll see that the bowl is nice and clean, which is one of the reasons that I like to use my silicone spatula. I love it so much, and I will continue to use it over the dough whisks. So now that I've mentioned the recipe, you will see in the background all of the steps. That way, if you're here for the recipe, you can follow along. But I wanted to share with you guys that I do want to start a micro bakery in the near future. I'm not sure exactly when. I'm still looking into all the requirements to be able to sell in my state. And I'm really excited. I've been practicing a lot and I always post pictures of my sourdough goodies, my breads, my cookies, everything on my personal Instagram. And a lot of my friends or old friends or acquaintances are always asking me if I am selling. And it makes me really excited when I get those type of messages. And I am a stay-at-home mom, and it's really hard for me to find a job that will accommodate my husband's schedule and my children's schedule. I do have 2 kids in school, but I do also have a toddler, and because of my toddler, it is very hard to find a job that will, accommodate to her schedule. And obviously my kids come first, but I also do want to do something for myself. And I have been practicing a lot. I've been posting videos showing you guys my recipes and the comments that I get with the feedback on how good the recipes come out. And I don't know, I just feel like I can do it. And I am really looking forward to it. It would literally be a micro bakery, like literally micro, because I would not be selling a lot. I would just sell a few loaves every week, maybe some cookies, maybe something else on the side. I'm not sure. I am just like brainstorming at this point. I am just trying to put it out there into the universe so it can come true for me. I really want to try doing this. I've never thought of having a micro bakery. I never even thought I could bake bread or anything. So me doing this is a huge step and I'm super excited. I feel like it would make me feel more like my old self and like I am contributing to my children and to my household somehow, even if I'm not making a lot of money. I'm also still learning every day from you guys. I get tips on how to do certain things, and here in this video I actually figured out that I would never do a score with an X on it because I did not like how it came out. So I would just stick to a 1 score type of loaf. So I am still learning every day and I am not perfect, but I feel like you have to start somewhere. And I have been gifting a lot of my goodies to family and friends here and there, and I get really good feedback from them. So I don't know, I feel like I'm almost ready. I just need to get licensed and do some other stuff before I do anything else. I want to do this the right way and I am super excited. So I just wanted to see if you guys had any tips for me. I would truly appreciate it. So back to the video and the recipe. I am here going to shape my dough now. You can see that the dough has risen a lot. It's not sticky to the touch. It is coming off of the bowl easily, and it is jiggly and airy, and it has bubbles everywhere. I'm going to cut this loaf or this dough into two, and you are going to see here that I give the video a thumbs up because I was 2 grams away from the dough being exactly the same weight. So I was super excited. I just felt like a pro. I was like, this is my sign. This is my sign. I'm gonna do good in the microbakery. I'm just kidding. But it did get me really, really excited. And so here I am just going to gently shape my dough. And you can see all the bubbles on this dough. It is not sticky as I shape it, and I just love playing with dough. I don't know, there is something so therapeutic about doing sourdough, and I just love it. I just feel like I can't get enough. Sometimes I feel sluggish and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna make some sourdough, and I'm instantly like feeling better. So here is the second dough. I'm just gently shaping them, that way I don't pop all of those bubbles. And I am going to let the dough rest for about 10 minutes on the counter, and then I will do the final shape. Do you guys also tap and slap your dough? Because I feel like it's a must every time. So now I am going to flip this dough over, and I am doing a double caddy clasp. I've been loving doing this technique. Maybe I'll switch it up in the future, but as of right now, this is what I love to do. I just fold it like a book, and then I flip the dough a little bit or turn the dough a little bit, and then I do another fold, and then I'm going to put it into my banneton. I am doing 1 batard and 1 boule, and I think I prefer the batards better. I haven't done a boule shape in so long, and I feel like I messed this one up. The dough was perfect. I could have had 2 perfect loaves. I mean, they were perfect on the inside, but aesthetically, I feel like the batard shape looks better. Especially if you want to sell, I think, you know, the outside also matters. So here I'm just doing the caddy clasp again, and then I am putting it into my banneton. I don't flour my bannetons. I don't feel like there's a need to. And I put a plastic wrap over it. That way it doesn't dry out in the refrigerator overnight. And then you will see me stitching the dough. I just felt like it needed a little bit more tension, and that's what I did. I just tightened up the dough just a tad bit, and I was happy with how they turned out. I did leave them in the refrigerator overnight. I do like to leave the dough in the refrigerator for 12 to 18 hours. Then in the morning, I do preheat my oven with the Dutch ovens inside at 450 degrees. We are going to bake these loaves for 30 minutes with the lid on, and then 10 minutes with the lid off. You can do 15 minutes, but my oven runs hot during the summer, and if I leave it for 15, it'll burn. But during the winter, it needs the 15 minutes. So whatever works best for you and your oven and your loaves, go ahead and do that. This is just what works for me. This is the next morning, and you can see how much my dough has risen. It is nice and domed at the top. It filled up my banneton, and I love to see this every time I am going to bake. So now I am going to score my 2 doughs, and as I mentioned earlier, I did do just 1 score on the batard shape, and then I do like to go over it once just to get a cute little ear. And then here I did the X score, and I think I either went too deep or I am not sure, but I did not like how this one came out. This is after the 30 minutes with the lid on. They are nice and big, and they look perfect. Well, not so much this one. I didn't like the score. I feel like it kind of flattened out the loaf a little bit. but you can see how the other one is nice and round, and I love them. We are still going to eat both of these. I literally just baked them this morning, so we are just going to cut this loaf open. I'm going to show you guys actually both loaves, and look at how pretty, and the bottom isn't burnt at all. I'm not sure why I'm doing the knocking here because I always do a voiceover, and this is the second loaf. It is so pretty. I think it would have been prettier if I would have done a single score. I can't get over it. It hurts my soul. I'm just kidding. So here I'm doing the little knock again, and it was perfect. So, and here is what they look like on the inside. I want to thank you so much for watching today's video, and if you made it all the way to the end, I want to give you an extra thank you. Look at this beautiful crumb. It is not too open, it's more of a tight crumb since it is a lower hydration loaf, but I personally prefer these over the bigger holes. I don't know, maybe I'm just a weird person, but I want to thank you again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.